All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? Back again 4 times in 1 week. You got to love it. NHL scheduling finally getting back underway without these 14-game slates. You got to love it. These smaller slates are awesome. We had an amazing night in the Discord last night. A couple shippers in there on some great ROIs as well. I know some of our guys in there. I saw 500 at first place in there, so love to see that. The quick hit yesterday absolutely pretty much nailed the slate. If you followed that, you followed my core plays and the slate plan, you had yourself a pretty good day. I had myself a pretty good night as well. Got pretty close in NFL Showdown as well. But hey, back to the grind here. Back on a Friday. Got a nice little 5-gamer here tonight. Got some interesting plays for sure. I think I got a hot take in one of the games here, which is gonna probably be definitely contrarian, definitely against the grain. But if you guys are new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. And if you're not a member yet, number one, I don't know what you're doing. It's Halloween, post-Halloween here. So you can still get your late minute trick-or-treat action in here. Use that promo code NBA15, get you 15% locked in, 15% off any membership plan, locked in for life, including Shiptimizer. So $85 a month for all access with an optimizer for all the sports that we cover. Hard to beat that deal. Cheapest all-in rate in the industry right now. Christmas come early, right? It's a November to remember here. So looking forward to having an amazing November here leading up to the holiday season. But let's jump in. Let me share my screen. Let me pop the matchup sheet up on the screen here. Talk through it a little bit. We'll go through it, walk through it. Up top, we got the Islanders, Sabres, Senators, Rangers, Jets, Blue Jackets, Lightning at the Wild, and then the Devils at the Flames here. Overall, I mean, you're looking at 2 6.5 totals. The rest are all 6 totals. Senators and the Rangers, and then the Devils and the Flames. I really like the Devils spot here, late night hammer spot. As you can see here, numbers-wise, it's my favorite spot of the slate. I'm a numbers guy. I follow the numbers. Numbers are numbers for a reason. We got sample sizes now on home road splits, at least, I mean, for the most part, 4 or 5 games for all of these teams. Outside of the Wild, obviously, they've had quite a few of these road trips so far. So only had 2 home games here coming back, but we'll talk through it. So here's kind of a broad slate overview of the matchup sheet. Sticks out to me the most is the Devils. And looking at the Jets here, right, the Blue Jackets. Jets, massive favorites here. And as you know, I like these Jackets quite a bit at home. They play tough at home. You kind of seen it the last 2 games. And we got an interesting spot here tonight with the Jets, obviously, who look like a complete wagon this year. So it'll be interesting to see that game. But that's kind of the overview here. Let's jump into the stone, talk about each of these games and the players more in depth and in general here. First game on the slate here, we have the Sabres and the Islanders. Sabres at home. Levy's going to be in net. Varlamov's going to be in net, looks like, for the Islanders here. I think this is a decent game. I'm seeing a lot of ownership going to this game, and I just don't love it, to be honest. Expected goal numbers on both of these squads look more into defensive average. Islanders penalty kill has been 100% on the road, so I don't really like the Sabres much at all. Obviously, I like targeting power plays a ton. Islanders killed off 100% of power plays on the road this season. Could they be due for some regression? Absolutely, but they also limit power play opportunities, averaging just 1.4 penalties against per game. It's just pretty hard to score on them here. So they play a defensive first hockey team, or a hockey style for the most part. Sabres, you could definitely play them, but I mean, at this ownership, this is definitely a spot where I'm looking to fade these guys. I mean, from a D-man standpoint, I mean, Bowen Byram, Owen Power are both fine, I think, from this game. On the Islander side, you got Alan Pielich, Ryan Pollock, Dobson, always great plays from the defensive standpoint. Matthew Barzal has been playing great. He's 5,600. I don't mind him. If I were to go to a side, it'd definitely be the Islanders side, but I'm seeing ownership go to this game, and I just don't love it, to be honest. So in tournaments, I'm going to be underweight on this game. I think it does pick up a decent amount of ownership. We're showing pretty heavy ownership on this game in general here, and I just think it's like a 2-1, 3-1 type game, personally. So I'm going to be underweight. Could definitely kill me here. Both these teams can definitely be scored on for sure. It's just I like other spots more. Both of them are below 500 teams right now, so you could see kind of a up and down game, but I just think it's going to be more defensive focused and could bite me. But I see a lot of ownership going there, and I just like other spots more. Jumping to the next game here, Senators and the Rangers. Rangers look absolutely insane this year so far. 6-3 to start the year, but Senators coming off a big game. Kind of nailed it last time they were on the slate. Timmy Stu, Josh Norris, Brady Tkachuk, Bath Bomb, they all kind of smashed. Claude Giroux at 4.5K has been absolutely insane. Really like him here again tonight. You can really get a nice cheap pairing with Josh Norris, Claude Giroux, and Bath Bomb here, Batherson. 5,400, 4,500, 5K, they all correlate together. They both get power play. You get two-man power play correlation as well. So if you really want to stack, going Norris, Batherson, Claude Giroux, and then add in a Jake Sanderson to the top power play there. You get three top power play guys, or you could do a 2v2 or a 2-2 split, right? You get two top power play guys. You get the full line two stack, and then if you add in Thomas Chabot, 4.9K, you get 2 and 2, right? 2 in the top power play, 2 in the second power play. So you really cover a lot of ice. So if I'm going to the Senators, it is a tough matchup here. Igor's a stud in that. Rangers are just very, very good defensively. But at very low ownership, I don't hate the Josh Norris, Batherson, Claude Giroux, and a Chabot or our Sanderson stack. I don't hate that in tournaments at no ownership. On the flip side, Rangers, one of my favorite stacks of the slate. A lot of people's favorite stacks of the slate here. Mika, 5,800. He's not having a great year. It's been pretty much Trocheck leading this team with Panarin. But I think going to the Mika side is definitely interesting with Chris Kreider and Riley Smith. They're just super cheap. I mean, 5,800, 5,500, 3,700. They're probably going to be more popular than the top line stack just due to the pricing, because Trocheck at 7,200, Panarin at 9K. It's definitely expensive to pair those guys up, but definitely like both of the top two lines for sure. And then you do get some nice value plays here with Philip Chitto at 3,900. He's going to play close to 15 minutes, getting some power play time. Don't hate him. More just a one-off guy for me. Really don't want to pair him up too much. I really don't like Will here or Capocacco overall. So for me, Chitto, kind of just a one-off value play if you're looking there. Adam Fox is fine from a defensive standpoint, but probably my favorite D here from this team is going to be Keandre Miller at 3,500. He plays tons of minutes, gets power play time, can definitely score. He's definitely not afraid to fire the puck on net. So Rangers like them quite a bit. Rangers top line is going to be lower owned, I think, than the second line. So could be a good pivot spot, and they've been better in general. So if ownership's going to go to the Zibanejad line for a good reason, right? They're super cheap and super underpriced, I think, for this matchup. Pivoting to the top line, who's been the line all season with Alexis Lafreniere, Panarin, and Trocheck is definitely an interesting route. So I do prefer the Rangers top line here in general at lower ownership personally. Here's the game I was talking about on the matchup sheet here. Third game on the slate, Blue Jackets and the Jets. Columbus at home here. And like I said, people are kind of sleeping on this Columbus team. They're just good. I mean, I think they're solid. They're young. They got a lot of talent. And they just shut out the Islanders at home. And they just smoked Edmonton 6-1 at home here. Now, this is going to be a big test here because Winnipeg looks like I said, the best team in the league. They're 9-1. Just looks like an absolute wagon. However, the Jets coming in, Comrie looks to be in net here, which I don't think he's as good as Hellebuck by any means. So you could give a slight edge more to the Blue Jackets as well here. And from an ownership standpoint, nobody's really going to play this game from the Blue Jackets side. Everybody's going to go to the Jets side for a good reason. Like I said, I mean, Gabe Vilardi, 4.3K. I'll start there. One of the best value plays on the slate. That's just a criminal price point. I mean, top line, top power play skate next to Kyle Connor. I mean, at 4.3K, that's just a severe misprice there. Hence the ownership. I mean, I won't be surprised to see him in some contest pushing 30%. he's a great option for sure. Nikola Ehlers, same thing, 5K. He's just way too underpriced. If you really want to just two-man stack and get out of here for cheap, it is a chalky way to do it. But going Gabe, Ehlers, they both correlate together on that top power play, and then throwing a Josh Morrissey, who I think is also underpriced. That's a chalky way to stack up Winnipeg. I don't love the spot, to be honest here. Like I said, Columbus is definitely better than what Vegas and people are kind of giving them credit for. Just saw it against Edmonton, right? You just saw it against the Islanders. Merz Lincoln's has been incredible. He obviously stood on his head against the Islanders there. 7,200. I really don't hate him as kind of a tournament pivot off of all this Jets ownership. I'm kind of torn because I like the Jackets quite a bit. I think they're better than what people are giving them credit for. Their expected goals are really good, below 3. They've averaged, on average, 2.3 goals against per game. They limit shots on net. They have a really good penalty kill. But, I mean, the Jets have been the second best scoring team on the road this season. They have the best power play in the NHL at 50%, damn near cashing in. It's just, I think this is a trappy spot, to be honest, for the Jets. Now, there are some guys that are underpriced, right? Like I said, Vilardi, Nikola Ehlers, Josh Morrissey, I think is underpriced. Neil Pionk has just been an absolute stud at 5K. He's always a great option too. It's just, man, like I said, I just think this game, I think it's a little trappy here. So for me, in tournaments, I don't hate some Blue Jackets here because Comrie, you can definitely attack Comrie more than Hellebuck, I think, or I prefer to attack Comrie more than Hellebuck. The only issue is Winnipeg just owns your zone, and man, the best the best defense is good offense, and that's what Winnipeg has been displaying all season long. Now Monahan, 5,700, he's kind of getting up there in price, but his line mates, right, with Marchenko, Chinikov, they all play close to 20 minutes, and they're all basically right around 5K or under. Sillinger's been a stud at 4.1K. Don't mind him. Fantilli. You get really cheap guys here for the Blue Jackets, and I get it. Winnipeg kind of owned this team last year, right? One game, Columbus scored 1 goal across the 2 total matchups that they had, and Winnipeg scored 11. So goal differential here is 11-1 last season. I think that changes here this season, but obviously the Jets, great place here. I'm probably going to prefer the Devils, who we're going to talk about, and the Rangers ahead of the Jets here tonight, which is kind of scary, but I'm just going to trust the Blue Jackets. I'm going to trust Elvis in net, and I just think the Jackets are playing up right now. I don't know if it's a Johnny Gaudreau kind of rejuvenation since they opened the home opener, right, with kind of honoring Johnny Gaudreau, rest in peace. But I don't know. I just think they're a better squad than what people are giving them credit for. So that's kind of my take on there. I know I spent some in-depth conversation on that because I do think it's an important game for sure. Let's jump to the next game here. Another team that I think I put ahead of the Jets here tonight is the Minnesota Wild. Wild back at home here, facing the Lightning. Vaz has been great. Fleury is projected here. Even if it's Gustav, I don't mind either one of these goalies, number one in tournaments. But I will start on the Wild side. I like the Wild quite a bit here. In particular, I really like their power play matchup here. Tampa on the road has given up a ton of penalties against, over 4 on average per game, killing off just 70%. And Minnesota on the flip side at home is cashing in 40% of their power play opportunities. So for me, Eriksson Ek, Kaprizov, Matt Boldy, Zuccarello, Brock Faber are where I'm going for the Wild. Brodin is fine, and Spurgeon are both fine because they're going to play tons of minutes. As you can see here, 22 on average, 19 on average. But Brock Faber, I think this is a breakout spot for Brock Faber. He was a stud last year. We were playing mid-5Ks for him. He's now down to 4,600. As you can see, he's averaging over 25 minutes a game, and he's on that top power play, which I want. So I really like Brock Faber a ton here tonight. His game logs are very gross. I get it. He hasn't really been involved, but I think that changes here. I think this is a good spot. I like the Wild top power play here a ton. On the flip side, Tampa has been really good on the road this season. However, Minnesota's just really good defensively, usually at home. Their expected goals against is 2.2. Eriksson Ek line is just a lockdown line, usually at home. He's a very good defender. Marcus Johansson is good, too. You got some depth guys here with Foligno, Freddie Gaudreau, who's coming off a massive game at 2.8K. I still think he's another solid value play here, getting power play time. I think he's coming off a 30 spot at basically mid price at 2.8K, so I really don't hate him either. I like the Wild in this game. I'm just going to be honest about it. On the flip side, you can always play Kucherov, Jake Guentzel coming off a good game. But for me, my interest is definitely on the Minnesota side here. I think Minnesota beat Lightning here. Tampa's coming off a big win last game, I believe. So, like I said, I like the Wild here tonight. I think this is a good spot, and I'm targeting that power play for sure for Minnesota. So I just think Tampa's coming in with a 3-game winning streak. They just beat Colorado pretty good in Colorado, but Colorado's been a mess. So I think they're in for a rude awakening here coming to Minnesota. So really like the Wild here tonight. And then my favorite stack on the slate, going to the late night hammer spot here, the Devils. I don't think the Flames are very good. I think they've definitely overachieved to start the year. And as you can see, they're regressing back to kind of the not good team that I've expected them to be coming in. They've lost 4 straight to Carolina, Winnipeg, Vegas, and Utah. Got absolutely destroyed at Utah 5-1. Got absolutely shut out 5-0 at Vegas. Got kind of punched in the mouth here, losing to Winnipeg at home, and then Carolina as well. So absolutely love this spot for the Devils. I think the Devils probably are the top scoring team on the slate here. They're going to get ownership, but with the Jets on the slate as heavy favorites, the Rangers on the slate as heavy favorites, and a lot of ownership going to the Islanders and Sabres game, ownership can't go everywhere. So I think this ownership is going to be held in check. It's also a late night hammer spot. So I love the Devils. Devils my top favorite stack on the slate. Jack Hughes, love him. Nico Hischier, love him. Timo Meier, Jesper Bratt, Dawson Mercer, all great options here. I will see Steven Nosen at 3.8K, top power play. Great value play on the slate. Dougie Hamilton, great D position play here. Pesci, Luke Hughes, also great options here. Luke Hughes getting power play time at 4.1K. That's great here. But yeah, Devils, my favorite stack of the slate. You can definitely play Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier together. That's one way to get different automatically there. Add in a Timo, a Jesper Bratt, Dawson Mercer, Steven Nosen, something like that to get that power play correlation. But love the Devils. On the flip side, Flames, probably going to be a fade for me here. I mean, Connor Zary is really cheap, skating next to Kadri. As you can see, they're underpriced for the role here. Kadri is going to be probably 20+% owned. Connor Zary pushing that as well. They correlate together on that top line. Zary's getting power play time. I don't hate it, to be honest, but my interest is definitely on the Devils side. So that's kind of where I'm at. Looking forward to keeping this momentum rolling in the NHL streets here. As always, I appreciate everyone's support, everyone's comments, likes, subscribe if you're new here. And again, if you're not a member, NBA 15 is that promo code. My slate plan's already live on the website. If you want access to that, use this promo code, get in there, check it out. Check out our matchup sheet in more depth. Check out the stone. Obviously, we got the projections. We got everything. I'll be in the Discord answering questions. But good luck tonight in those contests. Hope everyone has a good weekend and a safe. I'll be back probably Tuesday of next week here breaking down another slate for you. But until then, good luck tonight. Hope to see those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top. Let's ship it.